Former Assistant Secretary of State Mark Kimmitt in Washington, D.C. His office at the State Department was responsible for the checks on the Pensacola shooter and vetted him. Thank you for joining me on the program. What kind of vetting procedure would have been involved in allowing this suspect onto a U.S. Army base? And is it typical of what foreign military members who come onto U.S. bases for training would go through?
Well, first of all, let me clarify that I was not responsible for this particular case. The office that I led what is responsible and continues to be responsible for all vetting. Now, the vetting that is used to bring students from foreign militaries over to the United States is pretty thorough. It requires both the local authorities in the home country to do an investigation, and then there is a thorough investigation that is done in country by the local embassy. In that investigation, all the teams inside the embassy review the case, ranging from the Drug Enforcement Agency to the intelligence services. Then once that packet is forwarded, it is forwarded to the ambassador for final review, and he or she is the one that gives the final approval. Based on that and coordination with the United States, then the visa and the travel orders are issued to the student.
Okay. So given that the suspect passed all the necessary background checks, but reportedly has recently made several anti-U.S. social media posts, what more could have possibly been done to track him and see any potential warning signs?
Well, I think it's also important to understand that we bring about 10,000 soldiers over, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines from foreign countries over every year. I think it would be a relatively difficult task if we were going to completely monitor each one of those in turn, and there would be some privacy concerns with that as well. Now, that's not to condone what happened or vindicate what happened here. This is a horrible, horrible act that was associated with this killing, but with 10,000 a year, that may just be far too much, particularly for people who had been seen to be fully cleared like any other visa applicant.
Right, fair enough. How might this then change the procedures involved in allowing foreign service members onto U.S. bases?
Well, I think first that needs to be done is, as Secretary Esper says, a top-to-bottom review in coordination with Secretary Pompeo's State Department. This is a dual program run by both state and DOD. We've got to make sure that first of all, that the system that is currently in place was rigorously adhered to, and then if in fact it was, then that indicates that there might be, in extraordinary cases, a way for somebody to slip through the cracks. And if that's the case, they need to be looking at other factors and other capabilities to add on to the current screening process to try to close those cracks.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Mark Kimmitt joining us from Washington, D.C. Mark, thank you for your time.